Now at 6, as parents struggle to find baby formula amid a shortage, many are turning to alternatives. We'll look at what's safe and what's not. Plus, construction work approved by voters through a bond begins at the Pittsburgh Middle School. And Missouri lawmakers approve a bill to provide more funding for charter schools.
The 4 states' most watched news starts now.
Joplin police arrest a man for a weekend shooting. This is KOAM News at 6. On Saturday, police say an intoxicated man tried to get an Uber, but the driver refused to give him a ride. Police say as the driver was pulling away, the man shot at the car. No one was hurt. Officers found an ID on the ground and tracked the suspect to his home, where they arrested him. Baby formula maker Abbott says it's reached a deal with regulators to restart production at its factory, which is tied to the formula shortage nationwide. Despite that news, it'll still take weeks to get formula to store shelves. That shortage is causing some parents to look for alternatives. As KOAM's Chris Warner explains, some of those alternatives could be dangerous.
Store shelves are bare as the baby formula shortage continues. While there's good news on the horizon, right now parents are looking for alternatives to feed their babies. Social media has been playing a part in suggesting alternatives, which Dr. Beth Garrett, a pediatrician with Freeman Health System, says can be dangerous. One of those things coming up on social media is people selling breast milk. Dr. Garrett says don't buy that, even if it's from someone you know.
That breast milk may contain viruses such as HIV, hepatitis C, hepatitis B, CMV, and could make your baby sick.
Dr. Garrett says she's seen a couple of different recipes floating around online for making your own formula at home, which is something else you need to avoid.
When we make our own formula based off of those old-time recipes, we are really going to cause problems with electrolytes that can lead to seizures, hospitalizations, make baby very sick.
Another thing to avoid? Goat's milk.
Goat's milk is low in a lot of key essential vitamins like folate, B vitamins. It's also very high in sodium, and again, that can lead to electrolyte abnormalities, leading to hospitalization and seizures. It can lead to some very severe anemias, and so it is not safe to feed your babies goat milk.
Dr. Garrett says cow's milk is acceptable, but you need to limit it to 1, maybe 2 feedings, as it can cause its own set of problems.
The reason we don't want to stay on cow's milk is it's deficient in iron, and also it can cause some microbleeding in the colon over time, which increases the iron deficiency, and babies get pretty anemic if we stay on cow's milk.
Another issue has been Wick Vouchers. Wick participants are limited to what the voucher is approved for, which Rebecca Laird with the Newton County Health Department says has changed.
The FDA moved pretty quickly to allow the state WIC programs to start offering alternative sizes and alternative brands.
Dr. Garrett encourages you, where possible, to consider alternative formula brands until the shortage is resolved. I'm Chris Warner for KOAM News.
As Laird mentioned, WIC programs are now able to offer different formulas during the shortage. The state of Missouri has composed a list of those alternatives, which Laird says is a great resource even for non-WIC parents. We have a link in this story at KOAMnewsnow.com. Construction work began today at the Pittsburgh Community Middle School. The work is part of the bond project passed by voters in January. School officials hosted an event to celebrate the construction kickoff. Under the project, all 4 floors of the middle school will be remodeled. That includes adding a modern science lab, adding an ADA-compliant elevator, and renovating the school's auditorium.
Pretty bad. There's not enough space, and the elevator would be really nice for the extra education, and the theater. We're always having to go to Memorial Auditorium because we can't use it.
The bond was approved to cover $16.5 million in costs. It continues the previous mill levies through 2045. Nice weather to start the work week. Doug Heddy.
Yeah, it's been a fantastic Monday so far. We've had plenty of sunshine all day long. The humidity hasn't been bad, and high temps right around 80 degrees, which is right about where we should be for this time of the year. We got clear skies here. However, You can see cloud showers, thunderstorms trying to get going out to our west, southern Colorado, northeastern parts of New Mexico, and eventually a cluster will come together and head toward us. It's not going to make it here this evening. It's not even going to make it here tonight, but by morning, we'll get some scattered showers and thunderstorms. So if you want to get outside for the evening hours, go ahead and do it. It looks great. Upper 70s to near 80. The winds have kind of slowly switched around out of the south over the past few hours, and that's going to help us warm up as we go through the week. Through the evening hours, dropping through the 70s, 60s, 58 to 60 for an overnight low. We're going to talk about thunderstorms here in just a bit.
See you then. Several Kansas airports are getting a boost in funds from the U.S. Department of Transportation. The department is handing out grants to airports for repairs and upgrades. 3 of the airports receiving grants are in southeast Kansas. The Fort Scott Municipal Airport is receiving $2,070,000. In Iola, the Allen County Airport is getting $270,000, and $144,000 goes to the Chanute Martin Johnson Airport. Missouri charter schools are set to get a funding increase under legislation passed before last week's deadline. Both chambers passed the bill, which calls for at least $62 million more in funding for those schools per year. Currently, charter school funding is pulled from the local school district's funding based on the number of students who transfer there, as well as some other factors. Under this bill, funding for public schools would remain untouched. Now heads to the governor's desk to be signed into law. A newly released grand jury report is highly critical of Oklahoma Governor Kevin Stitt and the state's Pardon and Parole Board. The report says the parole board was so focused on releasing inmates that it cut corners and ignored internal processes, which ultimately led to the release of an inmate later charged with killing 3 people. The panel also criticized Governor Stitt for how he appointed board members. The spokesman for Stitt called the grand jury process a sham. Coming up, how a local emergency management team is training canine units to assist in water rescues. Plus, as mosquitoes become more of a problem in the area, we're going to look at ways we can protect ourselves. Some area canine units are getting training on different kinds of rescue scenarios. The Quapaw Nation and other canine units are training for water and boat search and rescues at Twin Bridges Grand Lake State Park. The training brought in units from as far away as North Carolina, Virginia, and Canada. Officials say water and boat search and rescue is a specialized training.
Well, in our area, I think waterways is the main recreation, especially in the 4 states. So we found this to be a vital training that we wanted to make happen. We have people from 6 different states right now training with us.
The training is open to the public and will run until Wednesday afternoon. With the warm temperatures and recent rains leaving standing water in the area, the conditions are ripe for a common disease-spreading pest. Reporter Joe Hickman looks at how we can protect ourselves from mosquitoes.
While ducks are enjoying their newfound ponds in areas like this one along Catalpa and Barnes Street in Springfield, all of the standing water that's going to take a while to go down leads to the question, will there be a worse mosquito population because of all this?
Yes, I do expect that we will see a nice crop of mosquitoes in the next week or so.
The bad news is we are likely to see more mosquitoes due to the wet weather and the warm temperatures. The good news is most of those do not carry illness. In fact, there's only one breed of mosquito in Missouri that carries the illness that we see here called West Nile virus. Last year, there were only 11 cases of severe West Nile disease in Missouri and only 1 death. 80% of people don't even know they've been infected. About 20% will get an illness that they recognize, which is much like a cold or a flu. If the headache becomes more severe, or if there are mental status changes, confusion, dizziness, and such, you should seek medical attention.
You can divide these mosquitoes into 2 groups. One is a group that will emerge from artificial containers, like flower pots, old tires. Those mosquitoes will bite very readily during the day, but the good thing about them is they don't go far from the artificial containers. The other group out of ditches and standing water tend to bite around the evenings. The amount of water that a mosquito needs to lay eggs and for the larvae to develop is small enough to fit within a bottle cap off of a plastic Coke bottle. So it's really important to get out in your backyard and find these little things that are holding water. If you've got large fields, try to drain those things. You can put in biological insecticides that are pretty easy on the environment. If it's a recurrent issue, plant some type of a plant in there that really sucks up water. So in my backyard, I use mammoth sunflowers, and it'll suck all the water out of the soil.
If you do get bit by a mosquito, there are some tips to lessen the irritation. First is to use a cool compress or mix some baking soda with a little water into a paste and rub that on the bite to reduce those symptoms. A little bit later, the Joplin baseball team takes on Republic, learning to earn a spot in the Final Four in the district tournament.
Plus, we have thunderstorm chances returning this week. We're going to look at that coming up. Well, it definitely turned out to be a great Monday for us today. After we got some scattered thunderstorms yesterday, we cleared out just in time for the eclipse, if you check that out. And today's been sunny all day long. So clear skies, great job. This is our Lander Chevrolet tower cam, of course, Lander Chevrolet, just on the southeast side of the city of Joplin. So we're looking eastbound on Interstate 44 toward the 249 loop. All right, allergies have been high, which they should be in the spring months. It doesn't mean we like it, but they are. So on a scale of 1 to 10, today's an 8. Tomorrow a little bit lower just because we're going to get some scattered showers in here as we go through the morning hours. Temperatures, great, upper 70s to near 80 degrees for us right now. We're looking at 7th and range line. Sitting at 79, winds are pretty much calm. Humidity is at 40%. Through the evening hours, we slip back through the 70s, 60s, and then eventually about 58 to about 60 degrees for us tonight. All night long is going to be fine. We'll start to get some clouds in here late tonight as some thunderstorms try to get going out to our west. Already you can see the severe thunderstorm watches popping up in New Mexico, panhandles of Oklahoma and Texas. So a cluster is going to form, and then it will slide right across northern Oklahoma along the Kansas and Oklahoma state line. It will weaken by the time it gets here, but we're going to get some scattered thunderstorms in here by morning, and then this next storm system will start to really affect us as we go through the next few days. So we do have a severe threat tomorrow, not in the morning, but this is going to be evening into tomorrow night, mainly along and north of I-44. There's a slight chance we may get a few storms kind of try to form late afternoon into the evening. So we're going to go 7 p.m. until 3 a.m. a little better shot late tomorrow night. But I'm going to keep all the threats low right now. It's just something I want to keep my eyes on as we go into the daytime hours on Tuesday. All right, here comes the complex of storms late tonight. So we're looking at 4 o'clock in the morning. These will try to get in here 6, 7 o'clock. Heaviest will be southeastern Kansas, northeastern Oklahoma, because these are just going to kind of weaken as they push through. And not everybody's going to get the rain. These are going to be hit and miss, more concentrated the southern half of the 4-state area. I think any showers and thunderstorms, most of these are going to be out of here by noon or 1 o'clock. And then we'll get partly sunny skies and we'll start to heat up by the time we head into the afternoon. Here's your day planner. 59 to start, 75 by noon, 82 during the afternoon, a little windy, south winds at 10 to 20. As we get into tomorrow evening, we have a highly capped atmosphere, which means a lid on the atmosphere. Thunderstorms have a hard time getting going. If that cap can break, we need to watch for some big storms out to our west by tomorrow evening. That's most likely not going to happen, so we're going to have to watch for thunderstorms late tomorrow night that develop in Nebraska and Kansas and then dive in. So these would be in really late tomorrow night into Wednesday morning. But we have numerous rounds that we could really see throughout the week, so a lot to watch as we head through this week. 82 tomorrow, 84 on Wednesday, 86 on Thursday, 84 on Friday. Temperatures consistent all week long, but we'll have those chances for showers and thunderstorms. Look at the cool down heading into this weekend.
Yeah, wow.
60s.
Highs in the 60s.
Yeah.
That'll be kind of refreshing, I think.
It will be.
Thanks, Dad. Still ahead, it's regional playoff time for high school softball in southeast Kansas, and the Joplin Eagles hit the field at home in the first round of the Class 6 District 6 tournament. Jacob Leonard joins us with the highlights up next.
The Joplin Eagles host the Class 6 District 6 baseball tournament this week, beginning with 4 quarterfinal games today. This afternoon, the Eagles hit the field against Republic, looking to earn a spot in the Final Four in the district. Now, Joplin is the 5 seed in the tournament, while Republic is the 4 seed and technically the home team this afternoon. Ethan Guilford, good first inning on the mound for Joplin. Strikeout there. We're scoreless after 1. But Republic strikes first in the second inning. Gunnar Ellison drops it into center with the bases loaded. Trace Harrington in. Tyler Burks right behind him. It's 2-0 Tigers. And the next inning, more from Republic. Trace Harrington. Monster swing here, way up and out to left. 2-run shot for Harrington. Puts Joplin in a 4-0 hole. To the 5th, little defense, runner on first for the Tigers, hit out to left. Justin McReynolds comes up throwing, right on the money to nail the runner at third. Nice play in the field, but the Joplin offense never really got anything going. Eagles see their season end tonight 5-0.
At the end of the day, we've got to be able to swing it a little bit better to give ourselves a chance. I thought, we competed on the mound. I thought we did some things defensively that were good, but when you're struggling to score runs, it's just hard to get any energy and mojo going. And credit their kid, he kept us off balance and just really never gave us a chance to feel really good about anything in the box.
Other playoff action in Southwest Missouri this afternoon. Neosho and Webb City meet today in Neosho. The winner moves on to play for the district title on Thursday. Webb City wins a good one today, 2-0. So they'll face the winner of Carl Junction and McDonald County for the Class 5 District 7 title on Thursday night. In Southeast Kansas, the Baxter Springs Lions host the 3A Regional Softball Tournament this week. The Lions are the 4 seed in the tournament and hit the field this afternoon against 5th seeded Caney Valley in the first round. Now, the winner of this one play in the regional semifinals tomorrow afternoon. Hallie Painter did her thing in the circle, pair of strikeouts in the top of the first. In the bottom of the first, the Baxter offense catches fire. Lily Weston all the way to the wall in right center. That scores Reagan Pitts for the first run of the day. Then second and third for Emily Williams. She drills it through short. That scores 2. Makes it 4-0. Williams safely in there for the double at second. Chrissy Bailey's turn now. Going opposite field. That brings Addison Kipp home, and it is 5-0. Look, they scored 12 in the first. I can't really show it all, but we'll show one more. Kipp lines this one into right. 2 more score on that. Baxter Springs finishes it early today. Lions move on 15-0 in 3 innings. And that's it for sports. We're back with more news after this.
Take time now to honor a local veteran. Charles Russell served in the U.S. Army from 1943 to 1945. The Joplin native was stationed in Texas, Hawaii, and Saipan as part of the 71st Clearing Company. He received a Good Conduct Medal and a World War II Victory Medal. We salute Technical Sergeant Charles Russell, our 4-state hero. Here's a look at what's coming up on KOAM News at 9 on Fox 14. After a bloody weekend of mass shootings, crime is back at the forefront in consciousness of a lot of voters as the midterm campaign season gears up. Also, with rising energy costs, Americans should expect a shock from their summer electric bills. And a look at how those higher costs for energy and food are affecting food banks. That and a lot more, of course, coming up tonight on KOAM News at 9 on Fox 14. Nice evening to get outside, Doug.
Yeah, it actually looks pretty good in our daylight. It's not even pitch dark until it's 9 o'clock now, which is fantastic. 82 tomorrow. We are going to get scattered thunderstorms in the morning, non-severe. But then we have to watch for some evening and overnight thunderstorms that could be low-grade severe.
Final sports note.
We told you Webb City baseball beating Neosho to move on to the district championship. We're going to have highlights from that game right here tonight at 10.
Forward to that. Thanks for joining us. See you right back here at 10. Let's make it a great evening.